conclude this meeting of the CPLC today. Thank you for coming, and just in case somebody has to leave, I would like to suggest or thank everyone who helped at the picnic. If you have to leave, I just wanted to know I really appreciated your assistance. So now we'll start with crazy stuff.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a crime analyst here at 43 Division, and every week or so every month I give a presentation on some of our stats and what's going on in the division prior months. Start with our collisions. This represents the collisions that we had in 43 Division from April 1st to April 30th. As you can see, there's a couple of little questions there. There's body injury failure remains, non-reportable accidents, that's under $1,000 in new injuries, and personal injury accidents and of course property damage as well. And as you can see, there are a couple of little areas. Lawrence happening, I think there's been some construction awards, and that usually coincides with that. Also, you can see that Mark Memorial was a visit in the last month as well.
We are, the statistics that I saw today at our crime management meeting led me to believe that there's been a few more collisions from Kingston Road west of Morningside than we saw in the previous week, so I'm going to be putting enforcement on that road. So Kingston west of Morningside is going to get some special attention from our traffic enforcement folks to see where.
Okay, our next map is representative of the collisions that have occurred in the division versus the enforcement that we have. And basically what we do is at our crime management meeting every week, I think superintendent printed a map of where the collisions have been, and he chooses for the next week where we're going to enforce, do our traffic enforcement. And as you can see, I think we pretty well hit it on the nail here. Up in the Scarborough Town Center area, you can see there were collisions and lots of enforcement. Lawrence Avenue, Markham, as well as Eglinton and Kingston Road. It's a great new mapping system we have that enables us to do this. It's a great investigative tool and statistical tool.
But it also shows that, often we get criticized only enforcing where there are fishing holes, as some people refer to them. If you look at these collisions in the red and then you see where our enforcement is, you'll see that they overlap. If we actually enforce the law where we see there's a need to do so, we don't do the fishing hole approach any longer.
Okay, and our next map is the break banners that are taking place in the month of April. And I did want to, it does look like there's been a couple of little clusters. They're divided by control area, and that's why you've got the different colors there. And I did want to say that we've made some significant arrests as far as breaking banners go since that time, since the beginning of April to today's date. And I think we calculated at least 5 different arrests of breaking banners. So it's nice to see that, and it was actually nice today that these numbers have really gone down. We saw that in the crime management meeting today.
I didn't hear what you said. Where did these happen, those breaking entries in the cluster?
Oh, I didn't actually say, I just mentioned that there were a couple of little spots, like 452's area, where you can see the green dots.
Oh,
And we did make the rest.
so it's near Florida, right?
Yeah.
Long sleeve. And our next map is the robberies that are taking place in the last month in the division. And as you can see, there's another couple of spots there. Morningside and Kingston has been a bit of a concern. However, we've also had holdups, and the holdup spots actually made some great arrests just in the last month. And I know that our units, our MSU in particular, and our major crime units have been assisting them with numerous arrests in that regard. And I know that Paul has a presentation he's going to show you when it's his turn to speak about some of the thefts and robberies that have taken place. And of course, distraction thefts we talked about in the past, and of course the jewelry thefts, the thefts from your necklace, the necklace of your anyway, I know Paul's going to talk about that, and he's going to show you a couple of videos, so I'm not going to go into detail on that.
Really good news in our crime management meeting today. We had no robberies over the last 7-day period, so that's fantastic. Very unusual, but it's fantastic. So we're looking to see if Peter can make it 2 weeks. I'm not sure that he'll be able to do that, but it's all on Peter. Going back to the break and enters, if I could, just for a quick second, we're now, excuse me, we are now into the warmer weather. Yesterday overnight, we had a break and enter where somebody had left the window open to let in fresh air, and somebody took that as an invitation into their home. Something to be cognizant of. We are in the warmer weather, and it's nice to leave the windows open at times with the heat and whatnot, but be cognizant of that, and that it does add risk to somebody who wants to break into your home getting in via that as the entry point. Be aware. And I would recommend that that not be done. By all means, open your windows while you're up and about in the house. Before you go to bed, close them and buy air conditioning.
Can I just add something about the robberies? One of the arrests for the robberies was made not at the initial time of the robbery itself. The suspects had made good their escape. But we had some officers in the area, one officer in particular, some people who we just haven't seen in that area before. I was able to stop and speak with them and gather some information. That turned out to be the people involved and led to an arrest. So you see the officers interacting with people around the division here. Oftentimes it's to inquire as to what's going on in the area, who's going along, and that's a product of getting to know the people in the neighborhood. So that's a success story that happened this month here, and the keen officer who made a really good observation in the area that we arrested.
And our last map is for the vehicle thefts that have taken place. Our stats are actually down. You'll see that in the next slide here. But there really is no pattern to it. They just take place all over the locations. Do you want to add anything on that?
No, we're starting to see a trend of older model things, older model things we saw already. It's not as well as seen right now. So, last year, after a lot of newer vehicles sold, but that's 2000 year old.
Right, and here are our stats. Year to date, we're actually down 1% over last year at this time. And as you can see, our robberies are up by about 1%. And our sexual assaults are down. Now, the superintendent is very good results. They're up 10%. But he feels that that could be because the community is actually interacting with us more than they did when they feel that they can report these things to us, whereas they might not have before. So we're working on that. That's a very positive thing. Auto thefts, as you can see, are down. Generally speaking, we're kind of holding our own.
No, it's a very good trend. What Tracy was mentioning there, it's a fact that when the community that you serve as a police service, when the public trusts you, when the public believes that you're actually going to do something about it, they will give you information. So we're seeing a substantial increase in assaults, which is indicative, I believe, of the fact that the community is interacting with us and believe that we will actually do something about it. So they're telling us about how they've been victimized. Very positive thing, public trust.
And if there's any other questions, I'll for my presentation.
Thank you very much. Community concerns. Does anybody have any community concerns that would like to bring up to the office here today? Dave Singh?
There was an issue on my street on Thursday. One of the residents stopped the car and started yelling at him that he was driving too fast. And it turned out 3 guys came out of the car with baseball bats, so I told 911. The car left. The police came, but the car is coming back in the area. They did have a license plate that they were able to pursue the vehicle, but the next day I saw the car back on the street again. So I don't know if he's living in the area or making a point of coming back for whatever reason.
You have the plate?
They was reported to the police. It's already, somebody came, I didn't get his number, but the resident wrote it down. And it was turned over to the police officer. That time I left and went back in.
What day was that?
Sunday, Mother's Day. And the very next day I saw the car come back again.
Okay, it's pretty specific, so what we'll do is I'll get Peter to get back to you on that. What we've done with it, and it may be that you're right, that somebody doesn't hear.
Okay, either that or he's coming back over to the guy.
Well, it's more likely that they live in the area. I'll get Peter to look into that and get back to you directly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Susan?
This isn't necessarily in my neighborhood, but it was something that I read in the paper. The license plate covers, the clear plastic covers. It was said in an article, apparently the police have, now this is a traffic thing, I guess, but the police have stopped this particular person and gave them a ticket, quite a few dollars too, for that. Not because it was actually locked, you could see it, it was clear, but this apparently has happened to this one man 3 different times, and it was even a plate that was, there was a cover that was put by their, I guess the automobile place where they bought the car. And I can understand, we've seen people, the license plate is very poorly disguised, or it's disguised, it's very, very hard to see, and milky and all that, and yet apparently these ones were clear. So they say it's against the law to cover your license plate with anything. Is that your understanding?
Yes, you can't obstruct the plate. So if you obstruct any portion of the plate that's printed, then it could constitute an offense. It's very hard for me to speak to that one issue because I didn't actually observe the cover on the plate. But and our resident expert here, Mr. Papadopoulos, is on a jet plane heading far away right now. But I can tell you that generally you're not going to have an issue unless it obstructs any portion of the plate. And that could be anything from versus Ontario, yours to discover to, an actual digit or letter on the plate. So you're really not supposed to obstruct the plate in any way or cover it up in any way. So the short answer is I'm not sure how this particular plate actually works.
I know we personally have a cover on ours, but it's clear and you can see the whole plate with everything wrong.
The beauty of this country is the police can accuse you of anything and you still have to prove it, right? So there'll be that. Yes, sir?
While we are on license plate, I know some of the newer model cars, the license plate is very faded and rusted. Like these are the 70s license plate. We can recognize nothing about them. Is that legal?
No, you're supposed to go in and do it.
Okay, because I know some of these areas that have new cars and they put that the same old license plate. Just
yeah. Did anybody see the fire truck that was here during our open house? Yeah, I had the same thing where it was feeling off. Yeah, they were going to get it.
I don't think you should talk about that.
I want the fireman anyway, right? You're right.
We had to hold Patty back.
Yeah, that's right, Pat, you wanted to issue a statement.
Any other concerns? David, didn't you say you wanted to say something?
Yes.
This is David, the security from Inside.
No, can't reflect, I think, but fine work that they've done in this community. I've seen great improvement on one side, Kings and Stone Weston, which I'm in charge of. And I really thank you very much for the fine work that you all have been doing. Again, thank you.
And I would like to add that about a year ago, I witnessed this gentleman with two clients in the plaza Northside Crossing that were having an altercation. And I was getting into my vehicle and I stopped to watch, and I was amazed at his mannerism in dealing with his people. He was so respectful, and he totally got both parties calmed down, and they went their separate ways. And it was absolutely amazing. You did a fantastic job. I've been meaning to tell you that every time I see you, because it was just amazing to watch. And they had respect for you also, although they were very heated with each other. But you were saying, okay, you go off to your car, you go this way, and they did. And it was just, it could have been a lot worse if you hadn't been around or if you hadn't handled it the way it was awesome.
And this is another thing for David as well. David got us the card from Food Basics. I didn't get there, so he asked me if I'd been, and I said, no, I felt a bit guilty because then he did it. But anyway, that's great. He also got Marathon Security to donate 2 bicycles to the Life Safety Day for the auxiliary officers, and Teresa and I picked them up, and has also arranged for getting one at Cedar Ray Mall Management. So thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Any other concerns? No?
We just close off the gym concerns from last week. Well, the first one was Cromwell and Kingston Road.
Yes, so I've been in touch and communicating with Tamara from Councilor Crawford's office. She has passed it along to the city transportation, who's going to go back to the intersection and have a look. And I actually drove by there myself, and the fence wasn't pieces there. It's quite something. So that process continues. It's dealing with the city. It's not an overnight thing, as we all know. And so we'll keep following up. I followed up with her even this week, anticipating and hoping I have some progression for you, but it's still stuck with the transportation. So that's still ongoing. The other issue that was raised was by Rob Cairns, one of our members, with regards to the McDonald's actually in actually, we participated, many of the officers, auxiliary officers participated in the Happy Day there as well in the ad. And our officers, my officers in particular, from the community response team, spent quite a bit of time in that sort of triangle area there lately, and I know we had a conversation during our open house as well. And I can tell you that we haven't noticed that kind of disorderly activity happening inside. We have seen people outside. We have trespassed a few people actually, sort of as recent as this week as well. And I was just involved in the team handoff, where one team was handing it off to the other, and sort of a list of people who've been verbally telling to move along has been passed along. So hopefully this week, if there's continuing that kind of activity, we'll probably step it up to actually trespassing them, and then we'll certainly share that information with our great community partners.
Thank you very much.
Any more community concerns? I just wanted to add my words of thanks to Marilyn. Last Saturday was a great day here. We've seen a lot of people coming and going to our open house. It was a good time and a good community involvement. All of that doesn't happen without a lot of hard work. So I'd like to thank Marilyn and the board, the members of the CPLC that put a lot of hours and effort into making this happen. And they do it without any remuneration, and sometimes they even get complaints. I do realize that type of thing occurs, but it truly is very, very selfless of you to do this, and very much appreciated by us at 43 Division. And I think the turnout of the community shows how much the community appreciate these opportunities to come in. They enjoy it, and that's really all that matters. So thank you very much for all of that.
And I need to thank all of the officers, the auxiliary, and police officers for everything you did. I just want to say that. You were awesome. And you saw the pictures.
Yes, well, so.
My husband took about 150 pictures.
Even
And they're on CD.
even the chief commented on how many people were here. So that's a great help.
What was your number that you think? Somebody said 1,600?
Yeah, well, you know, I was going off to 1,300, but I stand to be corrected. I'm not sure. Some people may have been counting, but no, you know what? It was a great turnout, and maybe that's what we need to do next year: just have a collector and put people in.
Yes.
Actually, I found the best job.
Start taking opportunities.
Yeah. They can count. So.
I'm sorry I had to miss it, but was you chief impressed?
Yes, he very much appreciated the amount of community that had attended. He took a lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures.
You did? Yeah, that's all.
A ton of pictures, yeah.
That's good.
I didn't see you. I saw the pictures.
He's not as big as the last chief.
He's a
It
good
is a
shot.
little hard to
And you're skinny.
Actually, it's funny when I take my picture when I noticed my head, he took his hat off.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's good.
And at this point, since we're talking about the picnic, I want to mention about the ice. We did not get ice this year, although I personally had ordered it. I gave them my credit card, and it was a gentleman who took the order and said, no problem, you'd be here. Well, guess what? They were not there. And so my daughter went in my car and got ice, and thanks to Rudy as well, who went and got some. I don't know in the end, it wasn't back there, but was there enough in the end?
Was enough, yes. It was enough.
And Rudy said he would do it next year. We will skip off with that company.
Yeah, I'll go pick it up
And,
myself.
but I was a little concerned because it was my credit card. So I called my credit card company on Monday and gave them all the information, and they checked and said that there was nothing off my credit card. So it is possible that it could happen, but then you just won't bank again and no follow-up. So having no ice on a day that was pretty hot was not good.
I think it was the best day of that weekend.
Yeah.
No rain ordered a better day.
No rain.
No rain.
The snowfall issue couldn't stop going, man. It was nice.
Music was good.
As a 10-year-old nephew, what do you like the most about that day? It was vocal.
You got those pictures, right?
I did.
Yeah. Anything else? Any of the officers want to say something?
Yes, tomorrow is the kickoff, the media kickoff of the body worn cameras, which we are part of, my unit specifically, the response unit. So we're going to have a couple of officers, myself down there for the media day and discussing, showing the cameras. There's 3 cameras that we're piloting. We're starting off with the reveal camera, and we've got some representatives here from our service installing some of the hardware that we're managing and software. The initial rollout happens May 20th or 21st, where both teams will be outfitted with the cameras for their review some of the operating features on them. They've already had the training. And then we're going to see these cameras out there. There was 10,000 surveys that were delivered throughout the division to different areas that strategy management unit had determined. These 10,000 surveys were handed by our auxiliary officers. And they did it, how many days did they do it?
That's 3.
3 days. Incredible work rate. We're absolutely blessed by the sort of we have here. And so that will be followed up in the future. People have a chance to experience these cameras and provide their feedback. And that's going to last for probably just a little over 12 months.
Paul,
Huh?
you have something?
I think we can come up with something. You mind bringing that picture up? The young lady. Just read this out and then we'll keep going from there. Scarborough widow lives at your place for jewelry under distraction theft. Toronto Star, January 19, 2014. Scarborough widow is without a wedding ring after becoming the victim of distraction theft. Crime and speaking across the GTA. Grace Thornton, 86, was chipping ice off her driveway on Boxing Day when a young woman she didn't recognize came running up to her saying Merry Christmas and gave her big hugs. She was a nice looking lady, well dressed, and she was so friendly, Thornton said. Well, I guess that's why I was cool. The woman put a necklace around Thornton's neck and spoke mostly another language. She said, custom, custom. And I get lots of hugs and kisses, and then she was gone, Thornton said. The woman left in the van. The whole interaction was less than 5 minutes. Minutes later, Thornton realized something was wrong when she started describing the nice lady to a neighbor who stopped by to chat. Grasping the new necklace, the woman put it around her neck. Thornton realized that her own necklace, the broad gold chain her husband Howard had given her for Christmas before he died, was gone. So was her gold bracelet. And the ruby dress ring she'd been wearing. Worst of all, her wedding band had disappeared. Thousands of dollars worth of jewelry is irreplaceable, Thornton said. She's worn her wedding ring and the necklace constantly since Howard's death 16 years ago. I know this sounds silly, but I always felt there was a part of him with me, said Thornton. He was married for 48 years in 1 week. It was a big loss. Police told Thornton she's not the only one reporting this kind of crime. Distraction theft is a constant problem across the city, said Toronto Police spokesperson Victor Kwong. This happens all the time. So, we're going to deal with that just for a few minutes today. It is not a comprehensive presentation. We've only had a few moments. We'll go through a few things. So what is distraction theft for the average person in here? Do they want to, we've kind of heard it. Does anybody want to just kind of define it a little bit? We think of it as a distraction theft.
Somebody comes up and distracts you, you steal something from them.
That pretty much says it all, okay? There's many methods to it. Tracy and I have talked about it and have seen many methods. It could be something like mustard, ketchup, chocolate milk on the shirt. And how could any of us not want to look down if that happens, right? And at the same time, something can be taken. Tracy and Adam also referred to lately with a flat tire, probably buy and fused. Because that flat tire, someone goes to change the tire. So of course, that good Samaritan comes up and only grateful for that. Meanwhile, someone is really valuable. Okay. So what we do want to distinguish before we proceed further, because we often hear about robberies, the difference between a robbery and a distraction theft. Both theft of something, I can use Cecile. Cecile, first of all, give a gold chain that day. You're too good for us, okay? Cecile just leaves her gold chain lying around and I come up to it. That's next. And I simply take it. That's a theft, okay? You don't mind holding the other end? Not too hard. When Cecile has her hand on it, and I do something, you have to let it go, it's so strong. What is it? So now it's theft plus what? Theft plus force. We often say theft plus violence. It could be theft plus violence, but it doesn't necessarily have to be theft plus force. I've overcome her and I've taken this. So we are not talking today about robbery, except for another day we're talking about distraction thefts. In this case, people will typically not know that this stuff has been taken. That old rope just keeps giving and giving. So, thank you, Tracy and Adam, for providing this information. It could be any group, gender, age. Typically, what they're seeing the most in this reported: 2 females doing the crime, and then the accomplice being a male getaway driver. Why would we think we would typically see 2 females? Most are males. Not as threatening. Do we agree that there typically would be almost an we've seen probably men and women. They're introduced to each other. Rand and I are strangers, we're sitting in a corner staring at the wall, right? What do the two women do? Strike up an instant conversation. It's been shown that the average woman, this is not an insult, speaks 20,000 words per day. The average man speaks 7,000. Much more verbal, and it's all good stuff. Much more verbal and will connect much more. And I would suggest that if Tracy and I were standing there, we both try to get a hug from someone, Tracy would get in much closer, much more quickly than I would with ease. Why not more than two? Why not a great big gang of people? Putting people ill at ease, correct? This way we got somebody working and someone doing a distraction. So if we don't mind just going to those videos, distraction cup CTV. Our fifth video we're going to show, you may have seen it before, it's with Auxiliary Staff Sergeant Therese Block, who will, when she's not delivering 10,000 surveys, it's got to be a promising active career. Should this one right here? Guys, just if this is loud, I'm sorry, so we don't have enough. That'll do so. I keep that our visual here. Does anybody brief us? We got this working perfectly this morning. You know, we're going to be standing over your shoulder. You know what? We'll just watch the picture. It's just as powerful as the. If we do get volume on it, it's just be prepared to say that's not going to be there. Something like this happens lots of people in that answer.
In regards to a rash of distractions that involve students, to tell us exactly what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how you can be aware to avoid it happening to you.
I'm Detective Wes Neal of the Toronto Police Service, 41 Division's major crime units. In the past several months, the City of Toronto and the Toronto Police Service have seen a real influx in distractionary theft type occurrences in the City of Toronto. These thefts are targeting some of our most vulnerable people in our community, our seniors. Often these occurrences are taking place in busy shopping malls, different these criminals take advantage of these seniors by distracting them with lots of questions, hugging, touching, and while at the same time removing jewelry. Often these victims leave the scene and are unaware that they've even been victimized. These crimes have devastating effects on their victims. Often these victims are losing precious family heirlooms, jewelry given to them by deceased family members. We want the public to be aware of what's going on in order to protect themselves. We need to take these criminals off the streets, and we need your help in doing that. If you know anybody or anything about the organization of these types of crimes, please call me at 416-808-4106. Somebody has to know something about this type of crime, and we need your help.
În această lucrare de informațiuni, per la persoane perședă bievie, eu lutem că telefonone în numărul de telefonet 428-222-4 Identitetea lui de dombele anonim, le aiută de scurtări cu informațiuni relevante în $2,000. As Detective Nails told you, this is a serious offense involving our most vulnerable sector of society, our seniors. We're appealing to the public to come forward in this regard, and if you can contact Detective Nail at 41 Division directly, that's great. However, at Crime Stoppers, we recognize that some people have the need to remain anonymous.
So that one, I don't know how long we're at that volume, it seems like it's about 20 minutes, the pressure time here is about 20 seconds. So we're actually gonna show one more, so that of course was some acting. This next one's only 30 seconds long, and it's actual security footage. Look for the stuff we talked about. Okay, no problem instructions, that's CTV. If you go to the small stuff, just hit back one. And I just heard one, that's right, zero back 1 in the corner here. And it's gonna come on. Be this one here. In this case, there's one female, but watch the Jeep pull up in the background, and she gives away. No volume on this one. Victim, okay, Joey, and the first offenders. Everybody's here going to work? And we see the Jeep in the background that's pulled up. And of course, not any idea whatsoever that that's been taken. Thank you for your help, really appreciate it. Okay, let's do a couple practical things. Before we go, people often ask, when should we pull the police? When do we know? This isn't comprehensive, but Gary Gomez at 42 mentioned it, and I'll repeat it with his permission, because he probably took it from someone else. And that is, are they living, visiting, working, or passing through? If they're not, what other lawful purpose do they have to be in your neighborhood and you should be pulling the police? Okay, can we remember that for the test in the end? Living, visiting, working, or passing through. And I would be open to suggestions if anyone else has a practical reason why you need to get some of them. Okay? So, if I use it there, I'll wear the necklace, okay? Here you are. Back in another lifetime in the 70s, I wore a chain this size, so it's okay. So, very, very common sense. We've probably seen this. Adam's going to need to get reasonably close to me to get that chain off, right? Okay? Just a very simple, we're not talking about getting anyone. Just a simple, no, I'm good, thanks. Yeah. Unless they have extremely good arms, they're planning upon not overcoming with force or trying to do this by trigger, right? Just a simple, I'm good. Again, what reason, that's good, thank you. What reason do we need to have someone that is not your doctor or loved one or something you know that needs to be that close to you? There's absolutely no reason, okay? Again, we're not talking judo chops here, just a nice friendly no, I'm good, okay? As we said before with this old guy, we just simply, complete disrobing, simply putting our necklace in. I see it up the back there. You can put it in later, okay? We just simply tuck that in. It's going to be much more difficult for them. If you see it, it's not on the inside of the collar, it's on the outside of most of those. They're simply, okay? Any questions? I know we have comments and concerns. Leave those till after. Any questions on this? What are the 4 reasons that we would consider phoning the police, or what should someone be doing lawfully? Do you remember? When did that sign go? We live there. What else?
Passing by.
Passing through. Working. Give this man a free bottle of water. Excellent work. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, it's my pleasure to present a pin for 15 years of dedicated service to the community in partnership with the Toronto Police, and specifically our CPLC here at 43. Kelly has been the secretary with the CPLC for a number of years, all the time that I've been in the division, but it's my great pleasure to recognize your hard work and dedication to the CPLC, and this small token, this pin, which recognizes all of those years of hard work. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Kelly, and thank you. You started at 14?
Yes, I many years ago. Yeah.
And I think, I'm not sure, is it 96 you started? That work out, add it up, somebody?
Probably.
Yeah, that's 18 years.
Yeah. Great. And Randy, I did put him on the agenda.
Yeah, I'll
but
say
he said-
something really quick here.
Oh, you did decide to talk.
Yeah, I know, eh? So I'm not,
Scratched you off.
I'm not gonna say, yeah, I know. I'm not gonna say much because we have a video being prepared. We've been told to go behind the camera. We have a video being prepared, a DVD for our next CPLC meeting, which will be the last CPLC meeting. It's just gonna be about 5-10 minutes, and it's everything that we do during the school year. Everything that is involved in 43 Division in the school year. So that'll be prepared for the next meeting. We have our social media events are gonna start winding down for the summer at schools anyways. We have one coming up this next Tuesday. There's gonna be about 60 people there. I teach it with Rob Cairns, and we have Luciano actually coming as well. We have about 60 people. Social media, this one is not an introduction course. This is all about This one's basically, what are your kids doing on social media? What's Snapchat? What is Instagram? What can you do as a parent to find out what your kids are doing on social media? So that's happening this Tuesday coming, okay? I'll put up more info. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And another day basket, Cecilia? Yes.
On behalf of the young mothers at Brooksby Hall, we'd like to thank everybody in the community for their great support and all the things we received to give to mom and the new baby on Mother's Day. It was absolutely fantastic. They got a large bag and it was all full, and there was 5 other baskets we still took over, or bins we took over, and they put this in what they call their boutique room. And mom goes down after or later in the day and goes shopping. It doesn't cost her anything. She just walks in and makes a selection of the other things that she might require. So thank you very much for your support. And we'll be looking for you again next year.
Thank you, Marilyn, Brady, and Cecilia for doing all that work. And anyone else that donated this. Thanks. And I think I've said enough about the community picnic. Crowd, I think, was pretty good. Had a few glitches here and there that worked out. So that's the end of that part of the.
Okay, so.